Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for joining us. You're watching our weekly program, Talk to OBN. In this edition, we'll be discussing about the upcoming Africa Urban Forum. To discuss this matter, I am joining by Dr. Yared Teshome. Dr. Yared, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well, before directly going to our discussion, can you just tell us a bit about your background, your career, your posts now, and how your current position associated with that of Africa Urban Forum?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to speak about Africa Urban Forum. This is Yared. I've been working as an urbanist in different sectors, and mainly to mention among the working as a chief advisor to the president of Oromia, and then currently working as a senior advisor to the Ministry of Urban and Infrastructure. And currently, yes, I'm coordinating the Africa Urban Forum from Ethiopian government side.
Well, okay. Why this event is so important for this continent, for Africa?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. As we all know, it's mainly about the urban issue, maybe this Africa Urban Forum as an urban agenda. This will be the first Africa Urban Forum that will be held on September 4 to 6, 2024. And the importance of this forum is that it brings the urban agenda to the front priority to the AU, mainly the AU member states. Actually, not only the AU member states, more than 15 countries are going to join us outside Africa. So this international forum is important for Africans to focus on the major challenges of urbanization, and which will focus on the solutions, major solution that is expected from the forum. So this is the first stage, the first platform for all Africans to speak about different urban agendas in Africa.
Can you again tell us, possible deliberations that will be undertaken during the forum, and what are possible major discussion points?
Thank you. Yeah, the major theme for this Africa Urban Forum is majorly focus on urbanization issue, with the title of Sustainable Urbanization for Africa Transformation toward Agenda 2063. So as we all know, that the common agenda for all Africa is about urbanization in both extents, on both physical extent and demographic extent. So that will be the major agenda to be discussed on the forum. And we do have another subthematic area. The first one is financing urbanization, and the second one is on resilient development of urban development. So the resilience agenda for Africa is a major agenda. The financing urbanization is also the major solution toward the urbanization challenge. So we do have the main theme that is mainly focusing on sustainable urbanization, that will be a basic for transforming Africa to the goal that we have, or to the inspiration we have, Agenda 2063, with the two thematics. Yeah.
Africa is undertaking a very rapid urbanization activities. Can you share some of major challenges that African cities are grappling with as a result of this trend, Dr. Yared?
Yes, the urbanizations both can be a challenge and an opportunity. When it is not well structured leadership is, with the absence of structured leadership, urbanization will create a lot of mess to the towns and city of Africa, because there is high extent of uh, uh, the land extents, that's the expansion, and as well as there is high extent of migration to the town. So when these two nature of urbanization come to the town, before explaining about the challenges, let me tell you some of the facts about African urbanization. Now, we are growing by 3.5% annually. That it showed that it's a rapid urbanization in the world. So currently for sub-Saharan Africa, it's around 37% of the sub-Saharan Africa population is living in towns and cities. And the northern part of Africa is around 47. So the average urban population in Africa is around 44%. So in the coming 20-30%, mainly by 2050, it will grow to 68%. That it shows that how rapid urbanization is going for the coming 20 years. So for that matter, if we manage it in a proper way, that will be an opportunity for Africa, because urbanization by itself is not a challenge. It's about how we are managing. So if not, the challenge is, our urban areas will turn to the center of poverty, center of unemployment, center of poor facilities for the resident, center of, we can say that like we will have a gray city that doesn't have a suitable environment for living. So in opposite, if we manage the urbanization in a well and better manner, our cities will be the center of prosperity, center of economy. As you know, in the world, higher GDP contribution is from urban. So from Ethiopia, we can say that 55.1% of our GDP is from urban sector. So comparing to other, still is very less. But since even our government, and actually AU is planning to have a prosperous Africa by 2063, that would be possible if and only if our urbanization is well managed in a sustainable way. Yes.
Well, again, Dr. Yared, Ethiopia is undertaking a very massive and very ideal urbanization development this time around. Can we genuinely say Ethiopia have good lesson to deliver, to share with other African cities in this regard during the summit, during the forum, the upcoming forum?
Yes, one of the reason that Ethiopia is selected to host this continental forum is because we do have a lot of best experience to share, mainly in managing urbanization and urban development, working on sustainable urban development. As we all know that Ethiopia now, our urbanization rate is by 5.4. That is the rapid urbanization even in the world. So we have a lot of strategic and policy-based management for this urbanization that we are going to share for our African brothers and sisters, mainly for the urban governance. So in Ethiopia, we can take some of the examples of how we are managing this urbanization. The best example is Addis Ababa in the Sheger area. The rapid urbanization of Ethiopia, almost around 72% of the higher urbanization is within 300 kilometers of Addis. That means it shows that we need to have more strategic measures, mainly in related to deterring this urbanization at the possible and sustainable way. So like the new city of Sheger is the best example of how we strategize to make the urbanization, rapid urbanization into a normal and a productive way of development.
Can you also tell us good model cities in Africa that we ought to learn from their experience, and especially during the upcoming summit, which cities will showcase the ambition of creating conducive settlements for citizens in Africa, in line with Agenda 2063 of African Union and UN SDG goal?
No, thank you. Actually, we do have a lot of champions in managing this urbanization or changing this urbanization challenge into opportunity. So maybe it will be difficult for me to mention some of the cities and towns of Africa, but there will be a lot of African cities and towns that are going to share their experience, best experience in working in sustainable urbanization. So to mention the few, like as we all know, Addis Ababa is Finfinne is one of the city that's going to share her experience by Her Excellency Adanesh Abebe. And we do have like Cape Town, Dakar, Nairobi, will have some agendas to share to the forum. So we are expecting this all. Actually, we do have a lot of best experience talks in different cities, because we do have a lot of partners working in this agenda. So you know, they will join us, and then they will share experience in both forum and also exhibition of the major focusing on urbanization.
Tell me the status and the gesture of your preparation to host this big forum. You are part of it, I know.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, the preparation as Ethiopia as a host country, and you know, Addis Ababa is the host city, and our ministry of Urban and Infrastructure, as a ministry for coordinating the agenda of Africa Urban Forum with AU and the two partners, UN Habitat and UNECA. So it is now governed or led by the Deputy Prime Minister. So at the steering committee of the national steering committee is led by His Excellency Tamasgen, and Her Excellency Chaltusan is also leading the forum. So from our perspective, from Ethiopian government side, we are doing well, and we do have around 10 subcommittees that working on one side on logistic, on transport, and on protocol, on accommodations, on in exhibition, in the programming. So in every direction, including the visits of Addis, the best experience, and Ethiopian main city, main area of visits is under preparation. So currently all the accreditation is over, and almost starting from today, we will finalize our part to identify our participants from different sectors. Nowadays, you know, we have secured more than 1,000 of African brothers and sisters to join us into this continental forum. So we have identified from the VIP for high-level guests, from the ordinary participants who are interested to join us, and also from 196 international institutions working in Addis. So the preparation is almost on the verge to end, and then we are going to welcoming our honorable guests and brothers and sisters of Africa.
Well, let me get back to Ethiopia's urban development activities, especially the ongoing corridor development. Dr. Yared, I need you to tell me this activity in line with that of UN SDG and that of Agenda 2063 of African Union, because on among the 17 SDG goal and project is creating conducive human settlement and expanding, harnessing infrastructures and city and town development is one of them. So are we undertaking this development per the direction of those UN protocols and agendas and projects, as well as African Union Agenda 2063?
That's what we have preparing to share to all African cities and towns. When we come to the best experience we are going to share, we are ready to share on 3 major best experience from Addis. That would be both in documented way, in a best experience documents, and also in a visit to an actual visit to the place. So as you say that about the corridor development, nowadays the technology and the status of infrastructure development in the world is human development infrastructure. So one of these is, to make suitable. Previously we have a lot of infrastructures which is not focusing on the human development infrastructure. Nowadays we do have a lot of things to share as a best experience to African brothers and sisters. So the corridor development, the slum transformation of the Piazza area, and also the green legacy will be one of the major agendas we are organizing to share both in documents and also in a practical showcase by Ethiopia. So that's the best experience. Beyond the experience is how Ethiopia is working toward Agenda 2063. We do have 8 inspiration and 20 goals of Agenda 2063. So the major goal of this, or the aspiration of Agenda 2063 is by 2063 to see a prosperous Africa. In line with this, the status that Ethiopia is going through is the best showcase that we are going to even achieve before 2063. So the best experience we are going to share is that the hard working of Ethiopian government toward this Agenda 2063.
Can you highlight a few innovative solutions or best practices in urban planning and management that are expected to be showcased at the forum?
Yes, actually, as I told you before, the showcase we have is mainly focusing on the infrastructure and green legacy and the proper housing development experience. So as I mentioned before, the major one is the green legacy. Even today is a day for Ethiopian on green legacy, or everybody is painting billions of trees as a country. So for that matter, I'm sure that the lesson we are going to share in both best experience and also in where to visit in Addis will be the memorable and also a lesson that for all African brothers and sisters. So majorly we do have 3 areas to show and areas of visits for the best practice.
Okay, let's talk about the role of private sector in undertaking and collaborating with the governments and other stakeholders during the upcoming event.
As African Union coordinating the program, owning the program, and Ethiopian government hosting the program, we are not alone working through this. Like the 2 big partners, UN Habitat and UNHCR, are working with us, and a lot of private sectors are working with us to make real this Africa Urban Forum. So when we come to the sustainable urban development roles of the private sector, it's clear that without private sector, government alone or institutions, partner institutions cannot be successful toward the Africa urban development. So in both cases, concerning the Africa Urban Forum and also in sustainable urban development, the role of private sectors and partners is critical. So for this forum, more than 45 private sectors will take part in hosting side events, leading parallel sessions, and taking part in a lot of agendas that would contribute to the final declaration of Addis. So yeah.
How is the forum ensuring, giving Africa's young population, how is the forum ensuring meaningful youth participation and empowerment in shaping the future of African cities?
This forum, critically focused or prioritize the youth group as the urban segments. So the major active group in the urban development, or the major actors, are the young. So the active urban actor. So for that, out of this high-level session, four high-level session, one high-level session will be led by the young generation, that they are the one who hosts the high level, that is the ministerial session. But we do have guests from youth ministries from different countries, and also ministers are confirmed to have this agenda as a leading agenda of the Africa Urban Forum. And the second one, we do have one future urban leadership of Africa training program, which we call that FULA. That will be organized by AFLEX, Africa Center for Excellency, Leadership Excellency, and also Ethiopian government together. So we will host more than 50 African youth group to join the training, which will focus on the trend of urbanization and the future leadership that we are looking to make successful of the Agenda 2063.
What should Africa learn from developed nations in undertaking urban development?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. As an African, we have a lot of indigenous home-growing strategies for urban development, sustainable urban development. So we do have a lot of best experience not only from the developed country, even here in Africa and Ethiopia. So the first thing that we should share is what is the indigenous knowledge that we should share, because we are sharing the same challenges, and we are looking for better strategy that emanates from our best practices. So when we come to the international experience toward the sustainable urban development, we do have a lot of best experience as well from developing country and developed country. So even we will have a lot of platform to share their experience in the Africa Urban Forum. So from both sides, we will have a lot of agendas to share from each other in Africa, from the exhibition and the showcase, and as well as we will have a best practice that's the developed world to share to the African cities and towns.
What is your final message or call to action for policymakers, urban professionals, and the general public watching this interview regarding the importance of African urban fora?
Yes, thank you. Actually, we Ethiopian known for a good hospitality. So this will be my message to all Ethiopian, mainly Addis residents of Addis, to welcome these all African brothers and sisters, even outside of Africa. And the second one for the international community in Addis. In this opportunity, I would like to call them to join us based on our invitation to their institution. So, and I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to deliver my message to concerning the Africa Urban Forum.
Well, Dr. Yared Teshome, thank you for your expertise, and we highly value your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Dear viewers, thank you for watching. This brings you the end of our edition for today. See you next time with another edition. Bye-bye. Have a good one.